Hi, everybody, and welcome to Writing Prompts and Circumstance. My name is Alexander Armsted, and I am in the works on self publishing a romance novel. But I also am writing fantasy, sci fi, and thrillers as well. And allow me to introduce my co host, also, Saida Fields.
Hi, everyone. I'm Saida Fields. I'm also an aspiring author. My preferred genre is fiction, but I might dabble in other genres coming up. I'm currently still in the works of my first draft of my novel, but it's coming along fantastically, and I can't wait to finish. So, Alexander, you want to tell us why we're here?
Yeah, so the why behind what we're doing. So we are wanting to keep ourselves motivated and engaged in our writings, and we know that other writers out there who struggle with writer's block, motivation, or just generally wanting to talk or just hear other authors and how they work. Sometimes hearing that someone else is struggling with the same things can validate what we ourselves are going through. We hope that these videos and recordings can help others out there push past the walls to get their own books or works published. We both have struggled for years to get our books off the ground and get to where we are now, and we'd like to share things that have held us back and things that have also helped us get past the dreaded writer's block and on to finishing our manuscripts. One of the ways that we've kept our creativity flowing is by using writing prompts daily. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
so we'd like to share with you a writing prompt that we've prepared. So, what's going to happen today is we're going to give you this writing prompt, then we're going to pause our recordings for 20 minutes, write down a short story or a scene that may or may not be coming up in one of our novels. And we encourage you to do the same to get those creative juices flowing. So, today our writing prompt is: your character has been holding back strong emotions from someone close to them, but today is the day that they let it all slip. So we've got some elements of suspense or excitement. Who knows where that's going to go and where it's going to take you. So we encourage you to pause the video now. We recommend 20 minutes is a good time period, and we will be back shortly and read to our stories. We also encourage you to post your stories in the comment section, and we will share our favorite story in our next video.
All right, everybody. I hope we all had some good writing. So we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of story time. So we're going to read our prompts that we wrote, and then we'll kind of go into a little bit of a discussion afterwards of what we liked about each other's prompts and such. So just keep in mind that this is raw, unedited. You know, we're just reading what we wrote. And that's okay. Sometimes that's what we just need to do. We just need to get the words down and then kind of move forward afterwards. Um so my writing prompt that I did, um the emotion that I chose to convey was jealousy. So I'm going to go ahead and start. James slammed the door to the apartment as he climbed the stairs up to his bedroom. That was it. He had taken all he could get. He wrenched open his drawers to his closet and grabbed at his button-down shirts and pants that were hanging up. Somewhere in his lizard brain, he could hear the sounds of the door closing downstairs and Lizzie coming up the stairs. His blood was boiling, his heart hammered in his ears, blocking out nearly any sound. But the moment that he heard her whisper, he could feel his anger cooling for a moment. Is your hand all right? She asked. Of course, the moment that she brought it up, the adrenaline that had been fueling him till now seemed to wash away, and his hand began to throb with righteous fury. He wiggled his fingers just to make sure that nothing was broken. It's fine, he said, as he continued to pack his bags. Where are you going? Lizzie asked, seeing that he was packing up his duffel bag. I just need some time, Lizzie, James said. He could feel her eyes on him as he stuffed the clothes in the duffel with his good hand. He realized that would wrinkle his clothes, but he didn't care. He didn't want to say that he didn't know where he was going. He would get a hotel or something. Lizzie put her hand on his shoulder, and he resisted the urge to pull away. I'm sorry. You know how it gets on the bars on Friday nights. I told him to back off, but he wouldn't, Lizzie said. James shook his head. You don't need to apologize for that, Dick. I know it's not like you're asking for it, James said, as he looked at her with his soft blue eyes. I just need to sort some things out in my head, he said. He could feel his throat tighten up for just a moment. Him and Lizzie had been going steady for about 6 months now, and things were going good. After James's last relationship of nearly 10 years ending with this girl cheating on him, he'd found it hard to trust anyone. Was he ready for the next step? Was Lizzie? Lizzie took his face into her hands and he met her eyes again. Let me at least take a look at your hand, okay? She asked, before she gently ran her slim fingers over James's much rougher and larger ones. She ran a thorough examination. When she wasn't at the bar waitressing, she was going to school to be a nurse, and once she had completed it, she nodded. It looks like it's going to be all right, she said. James, She held his hand in a gentle grip. I don't want you to go tonight, she whispered as his grip tightened for just a moment. James could feel his anger leaving him once more. I'm not going to apologize for sticking up to you. He got what he deserved. It's just the thought of someone hurting you, Lizzie. You see the best in everyone, and people out there don't always act the same way. I don't want you to get hurt, he said. He pulled her gently so that she was on the bed next to him before he gave her a gentle kiss. He could feel Lizzie's lips part as he deepened the kiss, his hand running through her long strawberry blonde hair that smelled like kiwis. I love you too much to see you get hurt, he said, finally saying what he'd been keeping back. He had to be ready to say it, or else she could get hurt. And that's what I have. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Saida to read her part, and then we'll go on to the discussion.
Wow, that was really powerful. And you really painted a scene there. I'm really impressed that you were able to write so many. How many words did you write there?
613.
My goodness, I have almost half, a little over half that. But um, I went for more of a teeny boppy romance kind of thing. So the emotion that I was channeling, the strong emotion, was love, but also fear. So here, I'll go ahead and read what I wrote. Lisa's heart was pounding in her chest. Her throat was dry. How had she slipped up so badly? She frantically searched for a way to cover up her mistake. He can't know yet. What if he rejects me? She thought. Jason had been her friend for so long. She'd always planned on telling him how she felt, but each time she mustered the courage, he was dating someone else. Jason looked at her confused. What did you say? His tone was unreadable. Lisa felt as if she would throw up right there in the hallway. The poster for prom on the wall loomed over her, an ominous presence. Why had she said that thought aloud? It was now or never. She took a deep breath and answered him, her voice nearly a stutter. I said that I wished you would take me to prom. She closed her eyes and waited for the weight of his reply and all of the possibilities that it held. A moment passed between them, but it may have been an eternity. Really? I'd love to. I never thought you were even interested in dating me. Lisa's eyes shot open. She looked at her friend and saw an expression of disbelief and joy on his face. She was stunned. This must be one of her dreams. Lisa was paralyzed, unable to respond. Wait, Jason paused. You mean like a date, right? Or it doesn't have to be a date. We could go as friends if you want. This managed to pull Lisa out of her reverie. A date is good, if that's okay with you. She smiled as she saw Jason's face brighten again. It's a date. Lisa's heart soared. And that's what I have.
That's awesome. I think it's funny. We didn't talk about our prompts at all beforehand. I think it's funny that both of us went for L names for the girls and J names for the dudes. I
Right?
think that's hysterical.
That's so weird.
Just same wavelengths. So, um, if we want to just kind of go into final thoughts, I really liked, I really liked that because it's not your typical genre of
Mm-hmm.
like
I
uh
struggle with
that
teen
you
romance.
yeah. And so I thought it was good. It was very, we've all been there
Mm-hmm.
in that point where we're just like, oh crap, we got, you know, we have a,
Unrequited
did I just say
love.
that out loud? Did I just say that out loud? And it's like, did I
Yeah.
just use my voice? You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I thought that was really, you captured that really, I feel like.
And I was also trying, like, when I was thinking about Lisa and, like, oh, she's got all these feelings bottled inside, but what if Jason also has feelings bottled inside?
Hmm.
And I like to torture my characters a little bit. And so I was like, let's hold them just for a moment in this state of, oh, wait, does she really like me like that? Or is she just asking me as a friend? And, like, all this
Hmm.
uncertainty. Teenagers do not know anything about how to regulate their emotions. So
Hmm.
I thought that
Communication's just terrible.
absolutely. And I know that as a teenager, my communication was terrible also. So that's what I was kind of going for. But I
Yeah.
really liked your passage too, because I mean, you are a romance novelist, and you really showed that in just that little short scene there. And I know that your novels really show that also, but you've polished them up more. Um, I really liked how you gave us a lot of background information in such a short period of time.
Yeah, because like with that, I wanted to, I wanted James to have this outburst, but, also show that, he, like most, like most guys, has a really quick temper and then, kind of calms down after.
Yeah, like regrets their
And so
decisions.
yeah, and so, it was that just kind of that flash of, we caught that at the beginning. I really tried to kind of go for like a start of a chapter, or, start of a, if it was a TV show or something, like, this is how it's like catching your attention.
Mm-hmm.
I always try and have that kind of like punchy beginning. Um, but then also as I was writing, I was like, well, why would he feel that way? Why would she, you know, why, because in romance you have to have, um, in romance novels you usually have, a reason as to why they're not getting together, and
Mm-hmm.
so
A
that's where
conflict.
the conflict of it, because otherwise it's just not that, it's not that juicy,
Yeah.
if you will. If it's just like, oh, they just fell in love and they, there has to be a conflict, and all stories there has to be a conflict, and
Oh,
so
absolutely. The
in this
story
one,
doesn't go anywhere if the story
yeah,
is this person woke up, had a great day, everything went perfect for them,
yeah.
the end. That wouldn't be a
And
story.
so, going into that, just kind of adds that depth. It may have been something that got brought up, but, this is what they're actually thinking about. So, in those instances, you know, going sometimes doing flashbacks, going back into that, kind of helps add that extra layer of juiciness. Um, Especially if you flip back and forth between perspectives, we may have forgotten, maybe not that he was cheated on, but how he feels about that, how that affected him. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What I loved about this prompt mostly is that it prompts you to write about emotions, about characters displaying strong emotions. And
Mhm.
I know that sometimes I struggle with getting to the core of that strong emotion. It's just like,
Mhm.
oh, they were mad, but like what are they doing when they're mad? How are they portraying that? What are they saying? What are they not saying? And
Mhm.
you know,
What's their body language?
e-
What's their
exactly.
facial expressions?
Yeah, and
How their body's acting.
or where are they in the room and what does that mean for the setting? You did a really good job of painting the picture of this bedroom, and then he's at the dresser, he's got his duffel bag, and then they're sitting on the bed. There's a lot of movement in your scene, which was awesome. So I
And
hope
you
that,
did that too.
yeah.
You did that too in yours because you painted kind of, the foreboding feeling of, of the, um I got the sense of like when you described the poster,
Mm-hmm.
how it was just ominous and just there and just glaring down on them. It kind of gave like the feeling, it gave the internal feelings an exterior, outward environmental. You painted that in the environment around it, and I thought that was really good as well.
And I always try to do that. That's something that I know I'm really good at, is I take the setting and I use that to portray the emotions of what's going on inside, either with the story or the emotions of my characters. And I know that we've talked about a few scenes in your upcoming novel, Alexander, and we've, had those discussions about how to use the setting to portray the emotions going on inside your characters.
Yeah,
So,
because I think it adds an extra level of, um, symbolism, that I feel like readers appreciate. So
absolutely. And it helps make the story more real and alive
yeah.
because, it happens in our everyday lives, I'm sure. All right, then. So I think we're going to go ahead and finish up. But thank you all so much for being here. We really enjoyed this. This was our very first video, our very first time doing this. And I know that we're going to improve. So please leave your feedback. And yeah, anything else you have to say before we close, Alexander?
Yeah, just like follow us on Facebook. You can look me up on Alexander Armsted. Uh, the Stead and Armstead is STED. You know, we like to be different, I guess, my family. And then I'm also on Twitter, Alexander Armstead as well. And yeah, so like and follow me up on there, and um, also on this channel you can like
Comment
and you
and
can subscribe.
subscribe. Thank you so much.
So
We also have social media for this channel on Twitter and Facebook. And we hope to see you in the future. Don't forget to leave your stories for us so we can pick our favorite one. Thank you all.
all right,
Bye.
thanks. Bye.